Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing Thai visa applications. And I sometimes liken the overall process to, it's sort of like tumblers in a lock. And I'm talking about both Thai visa processing at Thai embassies and consulates abroad as of the time of this writing, or as of the time of this video. I'm also, to a lesser degree, but it's still a good analogy, it's also true for visa extension applications here within Thailand. And when I say tumblers in a lock, it's sort of like the requirements are all the tumblers, or I should say the key has the right divots to hit those tumblers, and then the timing of how that goes in and how that all interacts results in the lock being open. In this case, the timing and the requirements associated with processing the visa through the Royal Thai Embassy, for example, in the United States, United Kingdom, Australia, for example. You have to hit all the requirements just at the right time so it all comes together to result in the lock opening up. And that can have, I'm simplifying this far more than perhaps it maybe should be, because we have seen a lot of people, especially folks that are trying to do it DIY, do it yourself, and get this visa sorted out. They really get frustrated because this process can really be cumbersome. It's pretty Byzantine at the moment, all the documentation. Some of it seems, it's even titled kind of duplicatively. Things like fit to fly versus COVID testing. It would seem that that's all one thing. Well, in point of fact, they do differ. Things like certificates of entry and a visa, well, they are two different things. So again, this is kind of complex, it's kind of confusing, and the way I liken it though is if you're dealing with it, it's just like the tumblers in the lock. You have the key's made in such a way that it hits all those tumblers correctly at a certain time as it's going in, and then it all sort of unlocks. And that is basically the way that these visas are processing out of embassies and consulates abroad. Meanwhile, it's not dissimilar to what happens here for extensions, but it's far more sort of a simultaneous thing. It all happens all at once. You're dealing with filing for your extension. You have to have everything on the checklist. Go ahead and file that. And even then, there's discretion on the part of the immigration officer. They may want to see something else. You go ahead and present that. And then you go ahead and bam, you've got your visa extension at least under review, and presumptively you're going to be able to get that extended. But again, the way to analogize this in my mind is like tumblers in a lock. You have to get that key to go in and hit those tumblers with a certain timing in order to open everything up.